Everyone loves a good review game, and this has been one of my students' favorites. I call this fast-paced verb trading game El Toro, and it's based off of a card game some friends taught me a little while ago, and the first time I played it, I was like, this is amazing. I need to learn how to use this in my classroom in some way, shape, or form. So this is what I came up with. I call it El Toro, and I describe it to my students as go fish, but everybody is fishing at once. It is intense, and there is no turn taking in this game. So if that sounds like something your students might enjoy, keep watching. Hey, my name is Ashley, aka Senorita Spanish, where I provide easy-to-use resources to save you time and energy while you're lesson planning. If you're new here, I just want to make sure you know that links to everything that I mentioned in this video will be down in the description box below. So El Toro is super fun, but it can be a little bit complicated to explain. So I decided to try something different, and I came up with some visuals to kind of assist me while I explain it to you. Hopefully they're clear. Just so you know, when I first explain this to my students, usually what I do is I literally pull up some students and we play through a round together out loud in front of the class, kind of in slow motion and just like explaining everything that's happening. And I found that once students see how to play, it's super fast. But that first explanation, kind of hard.
So here's how you play El Toro. The objective of the game is to be the first person to collect all cards for one verb. So for example, if you're trying to collect hablar, hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan, you would need all 6 cards. However, if you would like to play without the vosotros form, you would simply remove it from the deck. The objective would be then to collect all 5 cards instead of 6. To set it up, you're going to play with as many verbs as there are players. So if you have 3 people playing, you need 3 different verbs. Set the extra verbs aside, you will not need them. Then shuffle the verbs that you've chosen and deal out 6 cards to each player. However, if you've chosen to play without the vosotros form, you're going to deal 5 cards out to each player. So once you've shuffled and dealt, 3 hands might look like this. So these players have chosen to play with ser, estar, and tener, and you can see there's a mix of verbs in front of each player. Again, if you would like to play without the vosotros form, that's fine. Just remove it from the deck. These players would each have 5 cards instead of 6. After dealing, the dealer should allow for about 30 seconds for everyone to organize their hand. As they're sorting their hands, players should decide which verb they want to collect based on what they've been dealt. So as we're looking at the hands, player 1 doesn't really have a clear winner, right? They have 2 of each verb form. Player 2, however, has 3 cards for ser, and then 2 and 1. And player 3 has 3 cards for a star. So player 2 is probably going to go for ser, player 3 is probably going to go for a star, and player 1 is just going to pick a verb. When the dealer is ready, they're going to say vamos to start the game. Immediately, all players can begin offering a trade, looking to get rid of the cards they do not want to keep. Players can only trade cards of the same verb together. So for player 1, they could offer dos and trade away this pair. But they cannot offer dos and trade away these 2 because they aren't the same verb. As the round begins, everyone is going to call out their trades at once. This is not a turn-taking game. Everyone is saying their trades at the same time. Player 1 is saying dos, player 2 is saying uno, player 3 is saying uno. Everybody's saying it at the same time. If you are playing, you're going to be playing with the cards face down or in your hand. They're going to be hidden. These are only shown face up in the example to help you learn how to play. So since player 2 and player 3 are offering the same number of card to trade, they are going to swap cards. So player 2 and player 3 are both offering uno, uno, uno. They trade this card and that card. Player 2 and player 3 are now closer to winning because they have 4 of the 6 cards they need, and player 1 is still just offering dos, dos. Player 1 can keep hoping for a trade of 2 cards, or if they want to, they can offer 1 card instead. Either way, the round continues. All players offer trades and take or give cards as they prefer, hoping to find the cards to complete their hand. Like I said before, this is not a turn-taking game. Everyone is just going to keep offering, taking, trading, giving all at once. Player 2 and player 1 accept each other's trade and they swap cards. Now player 1 is closer to winning, but that wasn't what player 2 needed. Player 3 is still offering to trade. Anyone can grab from anyone as long as their offers match. So if one person is offering dos and the other person is offering dos, they can go ahead and trade. You must have 6 cards in your hand at all times. So you can't trade dos cards for uno, right? You have to trade dos and dos or uno and uno. Or 5 cards in your hand at all times if you're playing without the vosotros forms. Player 3 continues to offer a trade, dos, 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 and player 2 decides to accept. So they swap their cards. Player 2 realizes that's not the cards that they needed and tries to trade them away. Player 1 was offering, but player 3 realized they have all the cards they needed to win. They stand up and they say, El Toro. To finish the round, player 3 shows they have the complete set. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. Yay! They win! To end the round, all verbs are returned to the middle and shuffled again. Then deal out the cards and play another round. You can play until one person has won a certain number of cards or just until you run out of class time. You can also swap out verbs as you're playing if you'd like to change things up. Just a note, this game can get a little bit loud when the trading really gets going. Here are a few options for you. You can play with whispers. You could play just by showing how many cards you'd like to trade with your fingers, or you can always take it outside and play where you do not have to worry about that.
There you have it. That's how you play. Hopefully I explained it clearly enough, but of course, if you have any questions at all, just leave me a comment down below this video and I will do my best to help clarify. I like to teach my students both how to play El Toro and Cucharas right away towards the beginning of the year, and then whenever we have these cards out for a review game, I let them choose and you say, hey, you can play Cucharas, you can play El Toro, whatever you want, because the cards are the same, so they can just pick and choose, and then they just find a group of students who want to play whatever game it is that they want to play. Of course, I already have some sets of cards that are already made for you, complete with the instructions for Cucharas and the instructions for El Toro, so that way you can pick and choose for your own students. I will make sure to link my already made card sets down in the description box for you in case you want to grab a set to play with your students. I hope that this video has been helpful for you. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows you liked it. Click subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified of all new content that I create for you in the future. And if you're looking for even more review games, maybe check out this video I'll put here for you on the screen. It's got 13 different games. Like I mentioned with Cucharas and El Toro, it's really nice for students to be able to choose the way that they're reviewing. So this is a great list of options for them. And just for you, because sometimes we get sick of doing the same review game over and over. So here's that list of 13 different review games. Check it out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.